Good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Oksana Markiv. I am PhD in Structural, Applied and Mathematical Linguistics, Associate Professor at the Department of Information and Networks in Lviv Polytechnic National University. Today, I would like to present you our scientific work, Analysis of Geo-Economic Distribution of Scientific Publication Citation and Self-Citation Standardized Indices based on machine learning. My presentation will take approximately 10 minutes, so there will be plenty of time for questions. Feel free at the end. I'm going to be focused on such main aspects: visualization and analysis for geo-economic distribution and research of articles, authors, numerical characteristics, relationship between numerical and nominal data, as well as methods of using conventional perceptrons, and also the use of neural networks to identify or refute the existence of nonlinear and complex relationships between parameters of author and his level of self-citation. All data sets are presented at slide number 2. So move on. Slide number 3 shows the methods of our investigation. So studying of such relationships between numerical characteristics of author requires certain maths and algorithmic apparatus, backpropagation algorithm, and it is highlighted that some algorithms for generating the required type of data, their visualization and tokenization have been supplemented for filling the correlation matrix, as shown at slide number 4. Here you can see steps of such algorithm, yes? And also a UML diagram. Another example is tokenization, which is used to convert some strings fields into numerical vectors. And this activity diagram is shown on figure 1. The study is based on several data sets, including about 160,000 authors, world's GDP information 2020, dataset of global distribution of corruption indices 2019, and these 4 datasets are demonstrated on this slide. First dataset about author contains the 46 fields, and here are diagrams that show the growth of self-citation in the same year. So let's get acquainted with these figures. Yes, 2 figures are demonstrated on this slide. The second data set is the data on GDP on countries according to World Bank. From this data set, 2 fields were used: ISO 3 representatives of country name, actual value, and actual value of GDP. Here the information is obtained from Transparency International. It is needed to translate data. So it is visible that it is needed to translate data into CVC format. And when working with data approaches and technologies, the important work is visualization and representation on graphs of parameters simultaneously. Such parameters should be demonstrated simultaneously, and it's the basic principles of developing such graphs using GG plots, GG ridges, patchwork have been considered. The main type of graph is lollipop, and the developed template looks like this. The last part of research is in neural networks development. The paper demonstrates 4 types of perceptrons here in this figure, yes, and it is shown that such topology of 4 perceptrons models and TensorFlow used as library for Python to build perceptrons, and the model self-built using the functional API. And to build a data set for learning and testing models for the initial worksheets about the authors is developed such code. Important type of displaying relationships between data is the thermal map. It's shown in figure number 7. And this thermal map of the correlation matrix has supplemented algorithms that can be performed as follows. It's shown slide number 11. And the distribution and relationship are so-called J-plot ridge line performed using point gradient by the following code. You can see also on slide. The presence of such correlations means that self-citation doesn't have strong impact on the performance of authors. And therefore, it's not used self-plagiarism as a source of increasing the author rating. The next important aspect of self-citation percentage correlation to other parameters shown on this slide, and to display the global picture of Gauss distribution, there is shown a graph. Everything is explained in our article. So the map shows that there is a linear relationship between GDP and the number of citation, and it's shown of such a thermal map of world country parameters, correlation world country parameters. This regression analysis of the relationship between the number of citation and age index show that approximation function must have the form of exponent. Also, it was described previously, yes, that 4 perceptrons were created. After tokenization such method, a new CVC file was obtained, shown on this picture, and it is understood that network has any level of accuracy in determining the level of the author self-citation, that no network has any level of such accuracy. Analysis of Geo-Economic distribution of parameters is shown on such slide. So you see the lollipop distribution of articles, distribution of author citation numbers, rating of countries Ash index, general graphs for country characteristics. A level of self-citation's available parameters, so these properties have no significant relationships with the level of self-citation. This three-dimensional histogram of self-citation distribution by countries and categories shows very good the main conclusions of our work. So the study of the presence, analytical view, or lack of links between the Geo-Economic distribution of human resources has been conducted. Approaches to estimate the country with a double overlap in age index and a combination of classical modern mathematical information apparatus defined and prove the presence of patterns in data, including the use of graphical data representation and small neural networks combination. Thank you for attention. Wait for your questions.